Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jones. I'm a 15-year TCG veteran. Just passing off what I know to new players. Thank you guys for joining tonight. So, as you can tell by the topic of the stream, it is less than 2 weeks to Pittsburgh Regionals, and we gotta nail some stuff down. You know, we're pretty solid on what we're doing, but the time is definitely running out, and it's definitely important that we get started on finishing up. Well, not necessarily get started, but basically like we iron down the last few notches on our deck lists. So yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. Because we're just gonna keep working on that. Also, at the same time too, like with any streams, if you are a first-time viewer, you know, I do take match requests, and I also do take deck requests as well. If you've got a deck list, or you've got a deck or something you want to see me play, or you want to play a game with me, like, definitely hit me up. Also, thank you for the follow there, Rika. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate the likes on Twitter as well for following there. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, like I said, we are definitely going to try to iron this down. I'm going to jump in right off the bat with, just going to jump in right off the bat with some games with So the debate that I'm having with myself with TerraBox currently is whether or not I need to play Cornerstone or not. Because pretty much at this point, like, you know, the list I've been playing, like version 4 of this, like, has done pretty well. It's won me a league challenge. It's got me top 4 at a League Cup. It's got me 3rd at a League Challenge. Where are my other challenge ones? Oh, yeah. Like, it's done me well. Again, it's definitely has gotten me, like, I've gotten some mileage out of it. But the thing about it, though, is again, what is the meta going to do? And I think that's going to be important, you know, considering, like, it's going to be important considering how everything plays out this weekend in Monterrey, Mexico, and in Frankfurt, Germany. Already starting out with a really rough hand. I'm starting to realize that, like, Live does not like me playing this deck. Like, Live will give me the absolute worst possible hands. It'll give me the worst possible hands, and then I'm stuck, like, trying to play out of it. Which is, and then we get, like, a super good mulligan. Alright. Yeah, this guy's not having a good time. So we're going to start with this. Obviously, we're going to go here. Do that. I'm going to hold on to I'm going to go ahead and play Sparking Crystal. And then I'm going to hold on to everything else. Because basically what we're trying to do here now is see if they can get a turn 1 Frenzied Gouging. If they can get a turn 1 Frenzied Gouging out, that's pretty crazy. Cornerstone wouldn't be a bad tech, assuming the field is going to be filled with Gholdengo and other Pokemon. I think really that depends on... Like, I agree with that, but I think, again, like, it entirely depends on, like, this weekend. You know, I think this weekend the deck to beat is definitely Gardevoir. Now, there probably will be a lot of people playing Gholdengo, especially that, like, Gholdengo Joltik version. I think a lot of people will be playing that. But at the same time, too, like, you've played in any major tournament, you know very well that you can tech for a deck, and you will not see that deck at all. So it's interesting to say the least. All right, so they're gonna retreat, and they're gonna try to poison Pikachu because they're cowards. All right. So instead of trying to get off a turn one Frenzy Gouging, they're able to hide behind it. There's a couple ways that I can do this. So Rotom's off the board. I can't necessarily like attack. I think what I gotta do is I've gotta go get rid of this. Let's get rid of Ultra Ball. So we're gonna do double Owl here. We'll do that. So I should have held the crystal. We'll do that. Let's see what happens. We go wide. I'm almost tempted to just play research and just see what I get. Like, this definitely determines the first animal. If anything, what I do is I just set up a turn where I just end up setting up a turn where I like alright, come on, do your thing, do your thing. And I'm just setting up a turn where I can take 2 prizes with Wellspring Ogerpon. And if I can survive a turn, at least I can guarantee taking 2 prizes on the next. Especially if he doesn't have a way out. Because the way it looks, they got 2 there. They've already like burned 2 catcher. Maybe they play 4. I know this deck's gonna play prime catcher. Alright, there's that. Imagine they got an energy switch. And there it is. Okay, so play Secret Box. That Secret Box is going to be a Pokemon catcher, that's for sure. Yep, knew it. And the Poison Stadium too, so. Only on live. Only on live. Only on live does that happen. see what happens here. That is like the most PTCGL hand you possibly could imagine of. So I'm just gonna scoop that. Like there's like no way I'm coming back from that. So, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, I'm thoroughly convinced this deck is this game is like, oh my gosh, like. Whatever. And that's why you would definitely pick this up and I would just pick that up and just go to game 2 there. Like, starting Pikachu's fine, but I think a lot of that where that went wrong was like me just picking up putting the Sparkling Crystal in Pikachu too early. I should have definitely held on to it. But there really wasn't a whole lot there that I could do as far as just like, yeah, that research hurt. Oh well. Is this the same guy again? I've noticed that I've been playing like a lot of times, and let me know if you've ever experienced it too, where like you play somebody and then like you turn around and like play him again. It's interesting to say the least. Because I've had it where like I've dead drew horribly against somebody. Again, here's another awful hand. Oh boy, we are in the trenches today, guys. I'm playing against Polt, so this isn't the same person. But I am going first. I mean, there is that. The real question is do we put ourselves in a position where we actually attack with this guy? I really don't know if we do or not. I guess we might just have to read the board, but you know what? I'll take this mulligan. This ball's promising. See, and that's another thing, too. I've been seeing people play, like, some lists will play, like, one Terra Orb, and then, like, one Buddy Poppin'. So... Ditto is not an option. Alright, cool. Alright, this is our reality, guys. Ditto is not an option. So we're just gonna hope that let's hope we don't get item locked. I mean, we're playing against Polt Noir. So, the chances of getting item locked are very high. They are very high. So, but I also have a very high chance of doing something very funny. Again, it depends on that. So they already played their Neon Upper. Duskull's in the active. More than likely, if they're taking this long, they don't have a good hand and they're trying to figure out what to do. Alright, so there's a Nest Ball. I'm gonna laugh if it's a Shaman. Okay, it's another Dreepy, so they can still play the game. Y'all see this? Alright, so we gotta think about what we're doing. And I'm just gonna scoop. Guys, I'm down bad right now. Yeah. That was bad. That was real bad. That was real bad. So the correct play would have been to try to take a knockout with Iron Bundle. This thing is not working. So. There's that. F is correct. F is definitely correct. Like, yeah. It's crazy. Just missing one piece of the puzzle there. Like, well, I was missing really two pieces of the puzzle. So, yeah. Ridiculous. I bet I'm gonna go first again. No, I'm not going first. Oh, I might go first. They just alluded to go second. I mean, I'm okay with that. Alright, so this is manageable. Oh man, we get another same kind of turn again. Alright, this is PTCGL making up for it and being like, we're sorry. We're sorry, Jones. We're sorry we messed you over the last game, buddy. Is that what we want? Yeah, that's what we want. So, in a perfect situation, this is what would happen. Talking about perfect situations, I could tell you something else I've been experiencing lately. I've been experiencing often, like, prizing both of my fan rotoms. Like, and it's only against when I play against Gardevoir. Like, I can't explain it. Like, I don't know why, for some reason, like, Rotom fears Gardevoir. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen. So, there is that. There's an Artisan. So we're going to see what they have off of this. Cleffa. Oh, so we're playing against Charizard. Okay. Promising, promising, promising. Watch one of those other two cards be a supporter. They'll just be... Oh. They're not? Okay. So now we definitely have time to do something something interesting here. Okay. First thing. We're gonna do this. So I can determine what my moves are. Let's start with that. I'm gonna go Hyper Blower. I'm gonna do this. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go Artisan. I'm gonna grab Artisan, so I might as well just grab another Owl. Alright. So we're gonna do that. Then I'm gonna bump their Stadium. Second one. This time. I'm gonna grab another one of those. I'm gonna grab this. I got that Psychic Energy in hand, so that way I'm gonna go and attach that for turn, and then we're gonna use this for Teal Dance so we can see more cards. sure to get rid of Duskull. We're going to get rid of Charmander. And that's something a lot of times too, like I see a lot of like people not prioritizing Duskulls enough. So we got to make sure that we do that. Alright, so we got that. So actually, in a way, we can kind of repeat the same thing. And the reason why I want to keep doing that is that way I have like an answer to their Charizard if they ever pull one up. However, based off of this hand, we got a pretty solid little hand here that we can go Iron Bundle into. It's going to depend solely on... Alright, so now they got the Pidgey. That's going to be big. So we definitely want a Pidgey. So it looks like the play is going to be Energy Switch, attach, Boss, and kill... I almost kind of want to kill 2 Charmander again. Because I can always figure out the answer for the Pidgeot. Now, this is... okay, so it's Fez. So the Fez gives me my last 2 prizes. Or they get crazy and they go and put Duskull down. That could be a probability as well. And see, that's an interesting thing though too. I really like Charizard as well, especially like if there's a lot of people playing Gardevoir. There's a lot of people with that. That might be a possibility as well. Stretcher, so... Alright, so the stretcher right there is important to know. Oh. Alright. Oh, we got a Pokemon game now. Yeah, we definitely got a Pokemon game now. Alright, so that is actually going to make things really weird for us. I think I'm good on that. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna keep this Cleffa there for a turn and see what they do. I'm gonna try to make them commit to a Turo. And that should give me some time to figure something out because that Iono hurt. I mean, we're okay, but we're not doing great. I think this turn, though, I can still take something. I could take that. Let's see what the other one is. And it's weird, though, too, because, like, I've got that Earthen Vessel, but I don't really want to get rid of the 4th Owl, and I don't want to get rid of Fez. So I think, like, if I play Earthen Vessel, which I should, I need to make sure it's a card that I can throw away. And I still think probably the right play is to go... Okay, so there's a counter catcher. Alright, so now this is going to get real interesting. Children, this is why you don't overly early attach your balloons. Need that. I think I'm good. I can get that one back if I need it. At least this way I'll shuffle up everything. What could I Mew, is there anything I can get off of that? Mew gets me 1 card. That was magic. Like, I couldn't have asked for, like, a better, like, card. Like, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, I could use Turo. I'm gonna get rid of the Pidgeotto. Because it makes it really hard for us to do anything if they get Pidgeotto up, or Pidgeot up. We still got 2 Terra Pokemon. Yeah, so this is pretty good. That's another Pidgey. Alright, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna swing into the active, or are you gonna try to check down and kill the teal mask? This will tell me a lot about what's in his hand. Yeah, so he doesn't have a Charizard. He still could have, very well still could have a counter catcher. This deck typically played 2, so I can see that. See what happens. I guess they're only going for 2 energy? Yep, there's the counter catcher. Alright, I knew that's what they would go for. Let's start with this. Dang. Other one's prized. No, wait. Got it in my hand. What am I thinking? I'm sitting here freaking out thinking I don't have the card I need. But I got it. So we go Blast Trumpet. As long as we got this Terra here, we can go and put energy on 2 colorless Pokemon. So this is really good with Trapagos. It's also really good with Blood Moon, like a late game Blood Moon. It's also really good. So there's that. We'll do this. And let me just go chase down his other Pidgey. Need Scoops. Yeah. Terrabox. Definitely enjoying it. Thanks for dropping in the night pack. Yeah, this is like my number one pick right now for like Pittsburgh. It's what I've been playing the most, and it's what I've put a lot of time into. And the other part of it, it's like I genuinely enjoy playing it a lot more than I like playing a lot of the other decks. I'd probably say the other two that, as far as just a matter of just like fun, that I enjoy is like Gardevoir, and then Terrabox, Gardevoir, and I guess just because of just like comfort, I guess I would just say like Raging Bolt. Dragapult, I just get bored playing Dragapult. Gholdengo, I get same thing. I can just get bored with it, and it just causes me to play carelessly. I like the decks that force me to be present and to be very methodical in my decision making, and that's kind of like where I'm at now, where I'm picking decks that make me have to be present, that make me have to think about the sequencing, that make me have to think about every little move that I'm trying to make, because those are the decks that are pushing me to be better, to be a better player. Like, I can play Raging Bolt, I can play Gholdengo all day, and like it's the same thing. You see red and you just throw stuff at your opponent and you get it over with. I was coaching somebody the other day talking about the Joltik Gholdengo deck. You know, I was like, you go first, you set up the Gholdengo. You go second, you set up the the Iron Hands, and they're like, is that all I gotta do? And I'm like, yeah, that's all you gotta do. You know, and just really don't mismanage the game. But yeah, Terrabox is fun just because I have like a lot of options. My one hope is that it doesn't do very well this coming weekend, and everybody kind of just stays with like the big four, and people don't start trying to like tech for this. Because then if it's like, you know, there is a strong presence in this deck and this deck does do well, then it just becomes a problem. Then you start putting in more shamans and everything, and we don't want to see that. Alright. Probably another Charizard deck, if I had to guess. Open with an atrocious hand here. A PTCGL special, if you will. Okay, there it is. So I can play it. I can get into this. There's the Artisan. A turn too late. So, yeah, it's a turn too late. There's the Cleffa. This wouldn't surprise me if it's TME. Oh, they're just going to retreat. They're going to go into that. So I think this is probably also a turn too late. Let's see what they do here. Here's the hoping I don't have the grass. Take two this way. And then Pikachu kind of just survives a turn. I think that was gross, but I don't like it. Well, I do like it. I get to take two prize cards. I do like that, but as far as anything that would go as far as like the structure and strategy of their deck is still safe. And they can very easily just like stretcher that back up and like kill it. So there's that. So let's see what happens on the other side of this Ultra Ball picnic basket. That's cute. Pidgeot, there it is. So now this match is going to get immensely harder for me. I still got outs. I need a way to get, for starters, I need a way to get a Noctowl. That's like the first thing I need to do. Grass Energy Ogerpon helps. But the way it's looking now they got Monkey Dory on the board, like everything has to be a knockout. I cannot start putting damage on the board and leaving it there. Especially with that, because if I was thinking about it, if I was playing Charizard, I would smack the ever-living devil out of Pikachu, wait a turn, try to make him hit me into that, and then just throw the damage on there and try to get like a 3 or like a 4 prize swing. But that's also assuming, too, that my opponent wouldn't have this. I mean, this is my saving grace if I don't have anything, the Turo, but as is, I'm kind of cooked. I mean, I can go draw Pikachu, go Ogerpon, Hilda, I love that card. So I can go Ogerpon and then just leave the Cleffa there for a turn. That's a possibility. I think that's what I might end up doing, if I'm being honest with myself. Well, here's the other thing with that though too. I thought about doing that and sobbing, but then I was like, well, that just opens him up to like be able to one-shot Pikachu, and we're gonna need to be able to save Pikachu. So having Latios does help, so that does help. There's the Charizard. So now we gotta try to play around that and the Pidgeot. I imagine what they'll do is they'll just bring this up and they'll try to check down into the Teal Mask, take 2 prize cards, which isn't a bad strategy. I'm sitting here with like Latios, Crispin, and double E-Switch. I mean, that's great if I can like pull off Counter Catcher. Yeah. It's great if I can pull off Glass Trumpet, Energy Switch, like Crystal, or even like Super Rod Crystal also helps too. Well, no. That's tough. That's tough because it's like, and again, this is where the allure of Charizard comes in. He's 330 HP and he's just this big, beefy boy that like people run over. And I think if I was going to Frankfurt, I was going to Monterey. Like, that's something I would consider playing just simply because Gardevoir won Worlds. And you have that neat little Chi-Yu, you have a little fish for Guldango. Interesting. Don't want to give him the easy 2 prizer. But give him the easy 2 prizer. Everything I need is in the discard pile. And here's the other cool thing too. I mean, like with this board, as long as I don't give him anything easy, like, I'm fine. Second Charizard. It's not looking good for us, guys. Not looking good for us. We do buy ourselves a turn here, but we're gonna have to, like, really do something with it. This is probably a boss's order. Yep. So they take 2, so then now we put them in this. So now what we have to do is this. This is what we have to do. In a perfect situation, we have to go... We gotta research. That's like, there's like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have to research. Okay. Train for this, Jones. Energy switch, counter catcher. Juicy. So we're gonna have to catch. We're gonna have to catch some good luck here, because we're going to need that Super Rod. I'm going to need Super Rod, and then I'm also going to need a Crispin after this. So. Oh, and we're also going to need Gravity too. So if there was ever a time that I need to pull like 2 owls off of this, it's going to have to be now. Or really, no. I really don't. I can just go Rescue Stretcher Boss. As long as this guy doesn't evolve. That was cool. That was cool. I can definitely say that game definitely had some, like, clip-worthy moments. Yeah, definitely be checking to see that I post those. That was a really good game. Tamale Papi, like that was a very good game, and you should definitely be proud of that. Like that was good. That was really really good. That literally just came down to the fact of like I had the better breaks. Like there's no better way I can explain it, but again, that goes back to the talking point that I was saying earlier. Is that that's the thing I love about this deck is the fact that like it makes me have to play both sides of the board, and at the same time too, like it makes me have to try to find the optimal play every single turn. So then, like when I go to other decks and I start playing other decks, just whether I'm feeling crazy, maybe it's a meta call, just whatever, it forces me to always have that mindset of I need to try to think of what is the best move on this board, or if I do this, what are the ramifications of this decision? It is entirely based, the research was where I threw away the Latias. I wanted to put a situation where they didn't have an option to check down and take 2 prize cards. Like, the way that board was set up was ideal, so that way, if they didn't swing in the Pikachu, they're only taking 1 prize. And then because of that, what that opens up is a scenario where, like, I use Mew EX to close out a game, where I copy Charizard's attack for 330, Or there's a situation where I don't, because, whatever reason, and I go Gravity Mountain Mew. And then also the other part of it too, bigger ramifications. The reason why I Turoed and I put the, I did put the Ogerpon, that was just kind of more of like a wait and see thing, but making sense in that option of like not bringing up the Pikachu, not bringing up the Ogerpon, and then going with the Rotom. That's kind of more of the thing. That's more of what needs to be talked about. Just for the simple fact that they had Munkidori on board with an energy. And that game goes entirely different if I went Ogerpon instead of Rotom. So like if I went Rotom, he doesn't have any energy or like any damage to like move around. So then that creates a scenario like you saw where eventually they have to swing into a Pikachu and just it is what it is. And then we paced it even better, counter catcher, take away their option to grab stuff. They weren't trying to commit or set up for another Pidgey. So again, that going back to answering the Terrabox question is just the fact that it makes you think, and it makes you like very conscious of the decisions you make on a turn-by-turn basis. We're almost out of this mess. Yeah. So there is that. It's raining outside. My internet's not the best, so this thing's being a little slow. I'm gonna step away real quick. Alright, anyways. Back to work. Today's the first day of the NFL regular season. You don't see it, but I'm wearing my Arizona Cardinals jersey. Cardinals fan in Florida. He's a Cardinals fan in Louisiana, so definitely a black sheep. I've also today also marked like the start of fantasy football season 2, like playing three leagues right now, and there's 2 of them I haven't checked on, but like the main one, like the money league I'm in, I know I'm winning that one. So, everything else aside, like, I feel pretty good about it. So, alright. We are going first. I'm going to flip Hoot just to see what they have. Okay. Thank goodness I'm going first. This is going to be weird. Guess I'll throw that away. I guess I'll throw those away. And throw them. Maybe I should have threw away the research. Maybe I should throw that away. It's a dark deck. Don't really see them. Let's Robert this. See what happens. Alright, we're gonna hold on to it. See what happens. Yeah, I'm checking up on my fantasy team. Let's see what it looks like. Opponent benches that is definitely a Brute Bonnet. They're going to retreat in the Brute Bonnet. Alright, they pass. Alright. So let's go ahead and do this. Both my boxes are prized. That's crazy. 5, 6. You know what I think also might be really good in this match? I'm just gonna hold on to the crystal in case I need it for something else. I don't see Ogerpon. I don't see Teal, like, Wellspring being very big. That's assuming they do anything else. And assuming my internet decides to work. There's that. So, this will go here. Like I said, I'm going to hold on to the crystal in case I need it late. We're going to restart because who doesn't like seeing more cards? Perfect. We'll hold on to that. And then we'll do Unified Beatdown for 210. Knocking them out. So, that's big. We take 2 prizes early. I'm definitely glad I did that over Wellspring. So, now we gotta see what they do. I mean, they very well still can. Well, I've got this in hand, so it's not like if they try to stall behind Noctowl and Hurting, I have a way out. It's just not. So they're going to do that. Well, knew it. Now they're just going to hope and pray. Alright, so there's that. Guess I'll just get rid of Rotom. And I'll get rid of Mew. If I had to get rid of something. There we go. Pretty easy. It's unfortunate they had bad draws, but I mean that's kind of what it comes down to. And that's even like the thing like I hate like in premier events, like league challenges and cups, like just you know, your whole day could be hinged on that. Of just you just draw bad. So that should put us up in Terminus lead. Yeah, so checking on in regards to the fantasy matchup. I am up 109.93. So I get 16 points on the guy. So I got a 16-point buffer. He has James. My opponent still has James Cook playing. Cook's got 13 points, and then he's got also Rome of Doomsday for the Bears playing tomorrow night. So it still has me projected winning 58% chance of winning as opposed to my opponent's 42%. Granted, had I started Justin Herbert, this actually would have been all avoidable. This would have been avoidable. I decided to bench him over Trevor Lawrence, and just because Lawrence is playing the Panthers, and I should have just stuck with the fact that I had Justin Herbert and just played Justin Herbert because I have Justin Herbert. So it is what it is. Let's go tails on this. Alright, so this is actually a pretty good start. Let's see what we got, what we're up against. So they started Fez going first, so probably playing Gholdengo. This will tell us a lot. Okay. So we're playing against an electric deck. That's cool. No, I wish I didn't start. No, I wish I didn't have Ogerpon. I'll be right though. This kind of Carmine. I guess they're trying to get a bunch of stuff dumped early. Man, that's tough. Because now I'm like, if I can get it, if I can get a. If there was ever a more clear sign from the gods, it's this. Alright. Baffled by people's misplays since 2010. Alright, so I didn't see Sparkling Crystal, so that's okay. I'm used to being disappointed. This just shores more up of what I need to do here. I really don't even need to play. Well, yeah, I still need to play. Where's this? Still need to do fan call. Now, unless they're like trying to bank on like getting a second one out and then trying to Sparkling Crystal. Alright, still good enough. Unless they're trying to bank on like seeing more cards with Flip the Script and then trying to get like another Dynamo down off of Artisan. I don't really understand the idea behind that play. Like, it would have made more sense to like protect your board space. I mean, look at this. Like, so. Alright, that's actually smart. Okay. So, it made more sense, like, if they just would have left that up there. Like, I was going first. Flipped over Wellspring. Like, the worst thing in the world that can happen is, like I have everything. Like, I have Crispin, and I have, whatchamacallit in hand. Sparkling Crystal in hand. With a way to get stuff down. Like, it just doesn't happen. Oh, okay, so there's Raging Bolt. Clefairy's gonna be happy. Clefairy gonna be real happy. You know what? I can respect this. I can respect doing the whole thing with electric. You know, I can respect that. I mean, it's definitely a possibility, like post-rotation. And while that's cool to speculate and talk, it's like that's so far away, like in terms of like tournaments and stuff. Like, that's just something I wouldn't think about anytime soon. All right, so let's bring this up. Love that for me. Pretty sure I'm grabbing that. I mean, that makes a lot more sense that way. Because then I just get the energy back. see. So that's going to definitely swing big and momentum-wise, because then we can, get set for first 2-price knockout. So there's our sparkling crystal. Things about to get real fun up in here. Then I have 2 owls. Cute. That's probably going to be bolt. Yep. So what you're saying is I need to knock out both of the... So I said, okay, that's cute. That's also really cute too. Okay, he just deletes all 3 off of Pheasantipity and takes 2 prizes. So it's really just going to be a matter of like who can play chicken first. Like there's almost a part of me that like wants to just like bring out the bear like right off the bat. It would actually be a lot easier to do, a lot easier to pull off than say, well, Stretchical Fairy that's pretty possible, but when you're Ionode like you are, that was a misplay. That was definitely a misplay. Picked the wrong card. Wow. That was awful. Who knows what could have happened if I hadn't have accidentally threw down the nest ball. So it's crazy that misplay. Just like it could have happened. Both those 3 cards could have been. So yeah, there you go. Anything Raging Bolt. It's just crazy, like just how minute and just like how crazy some of those like plays are. Alright, so now they got all 3 of their like guys. They'll go in there committing for a 1-prizer and they're gonna probably kill Pheasantipity. They're gonna Dynamotor, they're gonna put the thing on this as Aurora, then they're gonna kill the Fez, and then it's gonna be like, alright, top deck or die. Which then, if it's me, then what I end up have to do is I have to be in a position where I have to, like, I have to take 2 prizes here, or yeah, now we have to like figure this out. I have to like Iona them to 1, while also taking multiple prizes, which I don't. So again, that is important. That is the importance of proper sequencing, you know, because it's hard to say what I could have gotten if I hadn't did that search. So it's whatever. They probably don't win often, anyways. Wow, so that's interesting. I just ended up. Oh my goodness. So I just checked my fantasy, and now I've like went down from like a 19-point lead to a 10-point lead. I love this for me. This league's so whack. Like, I don't understand like the carry amount. That's the wrong guy. He has 44 points. His 44 yards and a touchdown should be 10 points. Unless he's getting like receiving touches, which I think is what it is too, is he's got receiving touches. How many yards receiving does he have? He's got 44 rushing. Oh, that's it. So he's got 15 points, 5 receptions. That's 2 points. Yeah, it's ridiculous how he has 20-something points. But yeah, I am now projected to lose. Whack. But again, projections don't mean anything. I'm just going to have to be pulling for the Vikings tomorrow night. Oh. Okay. We're playing the mirror, boys and girls. Yeah, we're definitely playing the mirror. There's no statement. Don't want to put that active. So the way you play this, guys, is the same way you treat... It's the same way you treat want to give him more than I already have. It's not gonna happen, but if I could have, I would have loved to have gone after those Hoots. Now, probably what they do is they try to sit there and think, like, how do I grab both of the Hoots? Alright, so now they're gonna do that. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to create a board where like I can hide behind Terapagos. I think that's going to be the big thing too. Is who's going to get the race off for the first Crown Opal. That's going to be the first one. Right, so by Toad. So there's that. Cute. So that's going to be interesting, though. Latias, they're going to retreat into the Rotom. That should be another arrow there. Oh. We're getting saw blocked, boys. So now we got to sit here and think like, alright, so this is going to create a very interesting scenario. So there's that. Didn't account for like Sparkling Crystal being prized. Cute. So now we're playing chicken. So come down to who can ever take the first, who can ever whiffs on the knockout. Towel there. They've already burnt their Turo. So now probably what my opponent does is they end up going. They could Iron Bundle. That's assuming if they play Iron Bundle. They also probably try to play for the turn after. So there's that. I think if they do go Iron Bundle, I just bring up Rotom. Okay, so they're gonna go for Fairy. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're banking on that. Try to see one more card. Second one. Alright, that actually kind of works out in my favor. I will definitely take that all day. Well, the only problem is now I don't have a research. That's the problem. But I do get all this energy back, which is actually kind of nice. Play this first before I draw anything. Well, I probably should have done that the other way around. It's a dead card. Alright, so we're gonna saw block. I gotta keep the energy surge in case they try to get me pinned behind the Noctowl. So the way this is gonna work is, as long as I can keep them in this spot, since they've burned their one Turo, and they burned a balloon, and they burned a bear. Yeah, he's starting pretty bad. He still has his crystal. Yeah, so that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna hide me behind the Noctowl. And say, alright, Jones, get out of it. And this is why we held on to our energy switch. So that way, no, it's fine, Swaggy Cheese. It's fine. It's fine. That's actually pretty goated. Not gonna lie. Alright, let's see. There's that. They're still playing. They still got 3 Crispin to play. They still have 1 boss to play. And if I saw it right, they still have a counter catcher to play. Alright, so there is that. They're gonna get knocked out and they're gonna get a boss themselves. Should have held on to that. So, oh, okay. So that's interesting. That research. Let's see what happens. Alright, so that's pretty decent. Get rid of one of those. Take a 2-price knockout. There's that. So we're pretty good actually, since they already played their IO now. And I don't think there's anything really else they can do. I mean, like if they probably boss and bring up their own. Or did they play all of their boss energies? No, they probably boss and bring up and kill Bear. Which... oh, we still got Terapagos. So, even if they bring up Blood Moon, I've still got Ultra Ball into Terapagos. Ad's got to pay the bills somehow. I got to pay the bills somehow. But definitely though, like if you've got Prime, if you link your Twitch account to an Amazon Prime account, it gives you 1 free like tier 1 subscription to my page. Like you can gift me the sub, and that'll actually get you ad free. So now here's going to be the thing. I don't need to fez, because what's going to happen, you get instances like this where I end up like pulling up all the energy. So I'm going to grab this first. Let's see if we just got the energy to pull this off. We're good. We're real good. Really, truthfully, I can just do this. So I did shuffle. There we go. There we go, and that's how we win the Terrabox Mirror. Just a lot of just being very patient, not trying to rush ahead, and just being smart with our placements, and just being smart with where we take our knockouts and how we take our knockouts. It's definitely one of these things that like newer players have to learn, is that you have to so what I'm talking about is basically talking about how it's good to have a plan for different matchups and the way you play it. So that's what I'm talking about with that. Is basically what it was with that match. It was a mirror match, and as you kind of saw, if I just went willy-nilly just trying to take a knockout like on the first thing that I saw, would have had a bad time. Would have had a real bad time. But the way I played that match out, it was very careful, very methodical, and very conscious of what they were playing down and how they were playing it. So there's that. Do I want to go first? Of course I want to go first. Why would you even ask me that? Indeed, words of wisdom. So I'm definitely full of wisdom. Oh my god. Alright. That's wild. Alright, so there's a mulligan. I can play with this, I guess. This is what happens when, like, the people who develop this software don't really think about the algorithm. It's not to say that this can't happen, but man, is this bad. Okay. Gravity Mountain. Grass Energy. Graverotom. So let's hope and see what happens here. We go here, we go here. I'm just gonna hold off and let's see. First off, I want to see what they're playing, because this, if they start Latios, that could be one of like two. That's like one of three things. Oh. All right, so it's not. Looks like it's Ho-Oh Box. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So what's interesting to point out here is that, first off, they're dumping all of this stuff. That other card in their hand is probably a supporter. But what we want to try to do is we want to get in a position where we knock this guy out. And they put their legacy energy on Roaring Moon. Okay, that's neat. So, yeah, we've got to get this Charge Cadet down. Things get, yeah. I gotta get the Charge Cadet down. If they evolve into it, then they can move their fire energy around, and then it gets a little dicey for us. Alright. So they're opting just to hide behind the Ogerpon. This could be Iron Bundle. Alright, so they're banking on that. There's probably an energy in their hand. They're probably gonna like try to catch something up and sob. Okay. me see if I can pull this off. Yeah, I can pull this off. Alright, since we know we're playing against this, the stadiums are kind of pointless. And if my game will stop glitching. Now the other thing I'm going to do too is I'm going to so I'm not going to put down Area 0 until I go to attack next turn. The way this match is going to go, it's basically going to come down to whoever... Well, really it's going to come down to like who can take a 2-prize knockout first. And this with this Ho-Oh deck, they don't play a lot of... They don't play a lot of Switch. So I'm not hurting too bad with this, because I can just bring mine up. And as long as I can do a good job of getting rid of that Charge Cadet. Alright. So what's going to happen here is we're going to play this down. I'm going to play this. I would have loved to have grabbed that turn after I played Research, but it is what it is. We're just going to live and let die. See what happens. Like that. This is going to be gross. Can't stand that song. So there's that. Hit there. And then I'll put this down. Another prize card. Nest Ball, that's good. We want to see Nest Ball. We like Nest Ball. However, the problem with it is that we might have to throw away that Nest Ball so we can see more cards. Now, depending what they do, this gets interesting. I could forego a possible way. Well, I think that's... I could forego killing the Charge Cadet, and then possibly just take the knockout here and take 2 prizes and go to 2. Because it's going to probably be a lot easier to do that as opposed to try to like do everything that I want to do. Because, and what I want to do here is I want to protect this so I can go and be able to like grab two trainer cards. But if my opponent, which I haven't seen him do it, like realistically, probably their best case scenario is they boss something up and then they just go, they boss something up and then they just go into knocked out. All right, so there's that. That's big. And then what he's going to do the next turn. What they're going to do the next turn is they're going to use Roaring Moon, get rid of my Ogre Pawn, get rid of 2 prizes, get rid of the bench. Which, if that's the case, and I do that, jeez, if that's the case, then what they do is I go. Yeah, I've got to play like they're going to do that. That would also be really, that would be really funny too. Like if they, retreated in the Ho-Oh. If they retreated in Ho-Oh, that'd be pretty funny. That would be really funny. Which even then, if they like retreat in a Ho-Oh, then I just go Clefairy. Or I could even use, yeah, Clefairy would probably be the fastest way. So there's that. Let's see what they do. Because even if they have a Roaring, even if they try to do, they attack with Roaring Moon and use Calamity Storm, like it still doesn't. That probably hurts them more than it helps them. All right, so they're gonna do this. So the reason I did that instead of grabbing a Clefairy is so that way, like, I've got a more reasonable setup, I guess you could say. So that way, instead of seeing like just a few cards, I'll be able to see a lot more. This goes there. And then what also too makes this interesting is now I'm gonna like wipe out like 4 of their energies, which this deck it never really wants to see a lot of energy get wiped off the board real quick because it doesn't have like it doesn't have the best like recovery. Now the list that I play it does have some recovery, so there is that. A minute ad break. Love that. Alright, welcome back from that. So we're still playing. We did take a big knockout right before the break. So $16 ads, I think 16 ads is a little hyperbolic. That's cute. Hey, there's Mew. We finally pulled Mew. Okay. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. So really all they can do is go, alright, well there's one way they can do it. He still got the Ultra Ball. We've got one Nest Ball, we've got one Ultra Ball. They very well could go Mew and then do Crown Opal. That would be cute. Well, it wouldn't really matter anyway. Crown Opal is not going to be good. You're going to have to go Clefairy. Okay, that's big. That's going to be really tough to fight back against. Actually, that's not too bad. It's a matter of what I'm going to get off the top deck and what I'm going to get off Fezandipity. I already know they're going to knock out, so I'm really going to watch that. They sent my last Crispin to the bottom. They sent my Earthen Vessel to the bottom. It's going to be gross. It's going to be real gross. Okay, so this is going to be it. This is going to be very, very interesting. It most buys me a turn.
naturally I like pull the one thing that I need. Like I need, like I can't win this because I already threw away the Turo. Well, I win. Actually, yeah. That actually kind of works out. No. Stupid. That was dumb.